Hi, everybody. This is Matt Rand, and I am the Passive Income Pro. I show busy people how to generate multiple streams of passive income so they can free up their time and do what they want to do. And I'm really excited here today because I wanted to share an interview really with one of my students, one of my clients, someone who has actually put our system into place and taken action on it and generated some phenomenal results. I want to introduce to you Brandon Gilbert. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, how's it going, Matt?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm living large, buddy.
Awesome. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. Great, great. Well, I'm excited to hear more about your story and what you've been able to do. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. What got you interested and what got you started with all this, and then what have you been able to do since?
Absolutely. Basically, I was a restaurant manager for years. Didn't think I was ever getting out of that, and realized very quickly that no matter how much you worked or how many hours you put in, it was very hard to make ends meet. Especially looking at wanting to have a family and things like this. And so, my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, basically tricked me into going to a couple of the meetings, and basically it just took off from there. It really became a monster of its own. And it basically spiraled into things that I don't think you really realize in the beginning. The things you're able to have and the things that you're able to do with the knowledge. When you get into investing and learning about real estate, it's really, really expansive.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know what? Sometimes we stumble onto these things by accident. Somebody invites us to a meeting, somebody invites us to come take a look at what they're doing, and you're like, well, what is all that about? And there's all the skepticism, but then it can turn into something else. It certainly has for me, and from my understanding, you've been able to acquire some rental property since studying this and taking action and going out and investing. So tell us a little bit about that and what has it been able to do for you? What's it meant for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I like to say it from a standpoint is that I was probably one of the biggest skeptics out there. You know what I mean? And I was completely converted and turned around and took the time to get educated and basically turned it into, excuse me one second. See, business doesn't rest. So, but basically, turned it into a business over time, getting the education, getting things set up, and then really just applying those things and going out and attacking it. So we were basically able to make a little portfolio of basically, 26 units, which has me and my wife, pretty laid back and not having to run to a job or being laid off, hurting us in any way, shape, or form. This year we're adding a lot more. We've built it up to where we have partners and we have capital, being able to find deals much quicker. But really that all comes back to the education, education and learning that early on and then just practicing it. Because you got to remember, within 4 years of education and 2 years of rentals, you run your own business. You don't work for someone else anymore.
Absolutely.
That's a very short amount of time for people that are thinking, oh, this takes years and years. Well, it can, or it can happen really, really fast, and you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's amazing. So you have 26 rental properties. It took you approximately 2 years to get those after 2 years of getting educated and another 2 years of going out and doing the work, right? Am I hearing that right?
Yep.
Great. And so how much income is produced for you every month from those rental properties passively?
So basically, and the income that we're able to take in, whether it's kind of your after all expenses, we're living on two incomes. So basically $8,000 a month. So if we had both, so if we both had full-time jobs, we're basically both have full-time jobs right now as we sit home. And I basically do a lot of the business in this thing. Veronica runs a lot of the accounting type things and reads the fine print. So I like to say I like to get us in trouble. She likes to get us out. So.
Yeah, exactly. And it definitely, when people hear the words passive income, they think that means no work. That's not true, is it? You have to pay attention, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to respond. You have to pay attention, but you're not punching a clock and going to work for 40 hours a week either.
And you know what, Matt, that is probably one of the most valuable points is, you pay attention to things like this, but you got to look at what you really enjoy at the end of the day. If
Yes.
you're looking at a real estate deal and you're literally talking about, you know, half of an entire work month income off one deal, how interested are you going to get in that? I mean,
Yeah.
just two deals, you're making as much as you would working a 40-hour work week at most places. So you get
Absolutely.
involved in this in a way. Like I said, I was a huge skeptic. Never had any interest in any of that really. And
Hmm.
now it's to the point where I enjoy going to work because I get to see where my money's coming from. I see how to improve my business, and how much more business there is to do. And I really don't think most people understand that part, that there is a ton of business to be done,
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
multiple levels of it, you know?
Absolutely, because you can always grow in this, and we both are have a growth mindset, and I really encourage people to do that. No matter where they are, you got to grow into the person that you want to be, and so you can have the things that you want to have and do the things that you want to do. And so, let me ask you this: what are you looking at in the future? Where do you see yourself going with all of this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in the immediate future, we just know this year and next year is going to be huge. So we're going to double our portfolio, if not triple it, within the next year to 2 years, for sure. With that being
Nice.
said, like I said, there's a bunch of other facets to get into, to where it's even more passive. You know, you can just be earning interest, becoming more of a bank, you know, giving people mortgages, contract for deeds, and/or tax lien investing. So
Absolutely.
it kind of never ends once you get into it. And that's the part that I think people, you know, I was always told that being a landlord was miserable. I've been told that my entire life. And you know what? I generally enjoy it.
Mm.
But guess what? It's not something I want to do forever. So don't think just because you start one project doesn't mean it's going to lead you down a road to something completely different.
Absolutely. And let me ask you this: do you think you ought to know how to be a landlord if you're going to be a bank?
Interesting. Now, on that note, yes, I think you should. The education of it is only
Yeah.
going to accelerate you that much more.
Yeah.
On a reverse end, what we've done with a lot of partners is maybe landlording just is not your thing. Maybe you want nothing to do with this.
Right.
And that's where the education comes in to let you know what to look for,
Yep.
how to pick people so that you can actually have these people work for you and or with you. So
Yeah.
you're not really doing that daily thing, but you know where to go to get it and how it should be done.
Absolutely. I've been able to hire a really good property manager to manage my property, which has taken a lot of that burden off of me because I'm not even in the area. It's remote. You built a business, in another area than where you live, and I did the same thing too. And I guess the reason why I asked the question about is because if you're a bank, then you might have to take over a property at some point if somebody doesn't pay,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
And if you know how to do that and you know what to do with the property, then you're going to be in that much better of a shape when that comes along. So that is just so awesome, Brandon. I am really excited for you. So you're looking at tripling your portfolio. How long do you have? How long before you have 100 units, do you think, if you just had to guess?
Well, this year is really going to be the big question mark because with all the things going on.
Sure.
But we know because of the events right now that this is going to accelerate much, much faster. But
Yeah.
the real bonus is that by getting education, like you say, and learning how to network, not only are we vastly stronger than we were, a few years ago, is that as we go forward, we actually grow with partners, the speed of acquisitions. You learn how to bank. You make relationships with banks. It took us
Yeah.
a year and a half to make this relationship with one in particular bank, and now it's the easiest lending I've ever figured out. I mean, it
Awesome.
literally is closing in 30 days and things like this.
Yeah. And then also too, because of the systems, you've also learned how to find private investors who want a better return on their money. And you don't have to go through the qualification process with a bank. People
Huge.
hear no money, no credit. It just means that you don't have to deal with the banking system. That's really all it means. There are other people out there that have money. And if you know how to protect their money and grow their money and secure it and offer them some value, they'll loan it to you and they'll work with you as a lending partner. And so that's really all that means. So
Yeah.
I am so excited for you, Brandon. I can't really wait to see what you create in the future. I'm looking forward to partnering up with you at some point on these deals too. We're both up to the same things, I think. And I'm really excited for you, Brandon. I really appreciate you taking a few minutes to speak with me on this. Is there anything else that you want to share before you go?
Absolutely. I mean, basically anybody that's looking to change their income streams. I mean, you can love your job and still do this. You can hate your job and still do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
it being one of the most skeptical people out there, to get into it and then have success with it. Like you said, people show up to meetings, they're not sure what's going on. Absolutely, you shouldn't be sure what's going on. That's why you're there.
Yeah.
You know, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Go learn something, find out something. You'll be really surprised what you find out to create yourself income, you know?
Absolutely. And I'm all around about putting myself in rooms with people that are smarter and that have more success than I am. And that's really our message to you today, both of us, is if we can help put you in a room with some people that have done millions and millions of dollars of real estate, that know how to, you know, really develop systems for their businesses, then those are the people you want to be listening to. You don't necessarily want to be listening to the news or the people that are telling you can't do it, or all the negative people out there. So I love it. Brandon, thank you so much for spending some time with me today. And I look forward to seeing some awesome things from you in the future, buddy. Take care.
Thanks,
All right.
buddy.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Later.